Welcome to my studio here in fabulous Las Vegas. I've been putting my name is Dean Tenney. That's the YouTube channel you're watching. And we have various video playlists for all the series and exams for both FINRA and NASA. And, a lot of times it surprises me how often people don't actually print the PDF provided by you know, uh, whoever your exam comes from, FINRA, in this case, NASA, the North American Securities Administrator Association, and don't look at the PDF, which we're looking at now, about what you're held accountable for. They don't, do an intellectual inventory, if you will. And so what I'd like you to do is print this out so you know what you're held accountable for while you're studying. And what I would suggest you do is, as you go through your study effort, just check off these items and say, yes, okay, I know what that test issue is. Now, there's two things. I'm going to do a little intro or overview of the 66. The 66 assumes you have a 7, and it's necessary to have a 7 for this to work. But the 66 means you're going to be representing the broker dealer that is charging commissions, markups, or markdowns, as well as its affiliated investment advisor, which is charging fees. A vast majority of people taking this are selling what are called wrap accounts, where we wrap the products and services of both those entities, the broker dealer and the affiliated investment advisor, into what we call a wrap account. So that may or may not be you, but that's a lot of reasons people were actually taking this exam. Anyways, in terms of the exam itself, let's just look here. At some future date, and not in this intro, but at some future date, I'll be going through this and actually helping with the intellectual inventory. What I mean by that is I'll actually be explicating this exam. Let me get out my annotation tool, and we'll just go through this together on the YouTube channel. I'll say, okay, current ratio is the current assets, divided by the current liabilities. And we'll go through that together. Now, we have lectures already, but this is just an added thing I'm going to put to the channel, at some future publishing date. But today, as I said, what I want to do is just tell you what is the dragon that you need to slay. And so there's 4 sections of this exam. Section 1 is analytical methods, as you see here. And you're going to receive, as you see here, 5 questions on that. Not enough to kill you, but sometimes when people are struggling, they say, oh, Dean, beta and Sharpe ratios and alpha. Beta is a measurement of volatility. Like I said, it's a different discussion. We'll go through all that, but not enough to kill you. Now, the second thing you get tested section on the exam is investment vehicles. Hopefully you're pretty good on that because, you just had your 7 recently, we would expect, but, investment vehicles are 20 questions. Let me just get mine. And the third thing you get tested on, there's 4 sections to the test, is client recommendations and strategies. It makes sense that would be a bigger deal, right? Because as an investment advisor representative, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. And that's 30 questions. And then the last thing you get tested on is the laws and regulatory framework. That's all that stuff about the Uniform Securities Act and all that stuff. I don't know if I should put out negative vibes, but, a lot of times people either don't struggle on 1, 2, and 3, and they struggle on that last part, or vice versa. Now, in terms of what you need to score, you're going to have 100 scored questions. And of those 100 scored questions, you need to get 73. And kind of nice that it's 100 questions because that makes it kind of easy to pass, to make your mark. Now, they also throw in I call them experimental questions. And experimental questions are, expect 10 where they're just trying them out for future exams, testing questions for validity. The Series 6 doesn't radically change, but it does change. And, people say, oh, man, I saw this. Like I had a couple debrief this last week. And I said, wow, that's the first I've heard of that. But that's good debrief. And that's what they do. They sprinkle new ones in. They take some out. And so that's why debrief is so important. So make sure you pay it forward. I'm not allowed to ask you, like, what was question 2? What I am allowed to say is that what do you think you could have been better prepared for or less prepared for? And as I mentioned, we will explicate this. Now, to get all this done, You have 150 minutes to get this done. So you shouldn't run out of time. You might run out of right answers, but you shouldn't run out of time. And so that's kind of an overview of the exam that you are going to be taking, your Series 66. And, like I say, if you have any other further questions about the exam itself, feel free to reach out to me. And then I say at a future time, I'll just walk you literally through this document and we'll go over everything that you are tested. For example, we'll just go over PE, price per share, divided by earnings per share. By the way, the vast majority of test math is division. So if you can't remember what to do, divide. All right. So I hope you found that little intro helpful, and hope to see you in a YouTube video lecture where every once in a while we go live, and when we go live on the channel, hopefully you'll join us there too as well. So